If you... I need to put the link in chat, actually.
Can't see it. That just might be... Like, show up.
Yeah.
I don't know how long before it actually decides to show up.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Live
still
now,
not.
VIL. Oh, it says Maslow's is live. That's... Copy link. I can't... It hasn't come up on my laptop yet. But,
Oh, there we go, now it's come up. Maslow's live PS4 broadcast.
Yeah, I know.
Not the best title for it, but yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot to name it. I forgot to name it. Hang on, let me change the name. Let me just put this in chat. Edit video. Well, even though the stream started, it hasn't properly started, alright? So everyone can stop bullying me. Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do sort of need to bully you still.
VIL Division 1, Race 1, Zandvoort. There we go, save. How do I get rid of this thing on the right?
I don't know.
Because I feel like that's annoying. I feel like people get angry.
Yeah.
We've already got a comment, let me just reply to it. Let me know. I am pretty new to this. Oh, it's Travis O'Reilly saying dreadful. Ah, yes, that's what we love to see that. Actually, if I go off it a second, how do I... Yeah, evening lady, evening Brandon. Evening Becca.
Oh, hello, Brandon.
Struggling to find how to get this thing off at the side. I know it's not very professional, but ignore my horrific internet connection, it's fine. It just does that. It lies.
Yeah.
How do I... I mean, this is great because I can see all the comments on the PS4. I don't need my laptop, but at the same time, I can't... it means there's a limited screen. For now, I have to do, until someone tells me otherwise how to do it. I presume Mumford is talking to me.
I'm looking. Apparently there's settings and off showing comments.
But where do you go to for that setting?
In the streaming settings.
On PS4?
I don't know.
Yeah, Toby, I'm trying to. I don't know how.
It might be when you started up the stream or something. I don't know.
I don't want to end the stream just to do that.
You're probably gonna have to.
Are we actually gonna have to end the stream? I'm gonna... Toby, if you're watching, how do you change that? Do you have to restart the stream though? Or something? Press the PS menu and broadcast settings. Okay, PS menu, settings. Wait, would it be in settings or just broadcast settings? I think it would just be in broadcast settings. If I go to party settings. Shut the fuck up, Travis. Chef. I don't... Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Oh, broadcast. Yeah. Got it. But then what do I do? Comments. Advanced settings. Yeah, I'm in the broadcast settings. I'm just trying to get that. So advanced settings. Is that on advanced? Ah, yep, got it. I think that's it. Is that fixed it? Let's see. Oh, hey! Done it. Thanks, guys. To save me a lot of welcome to the stream. I know it's a very professional, unbelievable stream.
Well, I mean, half of the stream is professional. The other half is completely clueless as to how to
of course,
make it work.
Tavis, you are carrying everything.
I am the half that is professional.
Yes. Well, we're about to start. It's 8 o'clock, so I'm presuming everyone's going to be running up. But before we do, this is a new commentary team for a new season. We no longer have the beautiful voice of Velocity guiding you through. So
there'll be less depression, really.
Well, we don't know. It depends how you guys perform, I guess. But yeah, I am here, VIL Maz, with TJ Furface, better known as Tavis, one of the best racers to ever grace PS4. He's participated in quite a few league races. Hasn't finished many, but it's the taking part that counts. And he'll be my co-commentator throughout the season, which starts at Zandvoort, which was a really good track, really interesting, difficult to overtake. So if we are going to see overtakes, it's going to be very skillful or very reckless. We'll see. But I'm confident we'll have some good racing here. And,
hopefully skillful.
Yeah, hopefully skillful. And we should do. We've got a really, really good grid today. We've also got some reserves in from Div 2 and just the reserve list in general. But we've also, but they're also very talented. And of course, we've got the Div 1 grid, which is absolutely stacked with brilliant drivers. And thank you very much, Brandon, there for that comment. Obviously referring to my voice. Which, unfortunately, I mean, if you don't like it, you're going to have to get used to it, because it's going to be the voice of the season.
Well, until we're moving next week.
But, yeah, I mean, looking at the grid, we've got a lot of possible contenders. One of the people that we are missing tonight, who's potentially a contender, is VIL Energetics, or Hilke. He will definitely be a contender in this championship. We, of course, have the defending champion of VIL, Dan Murphy, who showed himself to be particularly rapid still on this game in the eval race, when he came back from right at the back of the grid when he was involved in an incident, and a shocking qualifying to nearly get no, he did get a podium in the end because of penalties. Yes, someone's just said Phil Razor is the best. There is also Phil Razor, who did incredibly well in that eval race, was very unlucky not to get a podium or win, just had a spin at the very end. But yeah, just going through, if I just bring up here on my phone the lineup for VIL Division 1. Yeah, I mean, Young Lights has also showed incredible pace, especially in time trial, without any setup. And so we've got quite a lot of contenders. We've also got Indigo, who won that eval race. He's incredibly quick. We've got a very stacked grid, and we've also got other potential race winners in there. Andreas, Milan Mygo's looking quick, and yeah, so it should be a really, really interesting season. We look forward to that. We're getting some Phil Razor fans, and other Phil Razor fans. He's got quite the following. Well, for his fans.
Mumford plays as well.
Mumford plays supporting Mumford. Well, that's quite incredible. Mumford plays supporting Mumford plays. He's very privileged to have that support. I'm very envious of the support that he's got. Thanks to the support on the stream as well, guys. We've got 12 people watching, which is good. And we are now about to start the session. 17 out of 19 drivers. That's a good turnout for the first race of the season. It's always difficult to get a good, decent amount of drivers for the grid for the first race. So glad that we got 19 in the end. That's a good number. So yeah, we look forward to this qualifying. Of course, full qualifying, the first time that we've had full qualifying in VIL. So it'll be very interesting to see if this shakes up the order in any way. And it'll be interesting to see if we get rain here as well, because that will certainly spice things up.
Rain would be good.
Rain would be very interesting, because then I honestly don't know who's going to be the front runners for that.
Always mixes things up a bit.
It does. Yeah, it really does. Drofter saying, if I make it into Q2, the locals will have a street party. Well, there you go.
We can only hope.
Yeah, we hope. I'd like to see that street party as well, as long as it's socially distanced, of course. Young Lights in the stream as well. Brazil loves Phil. Well, that's actually a brilliant bit of rhyming, and I really appreciate that comment. It's a great comment. Brazil loves Phil, and it's raining. Oh my word! This
should be an interesting qualifying session.
This is going to shake everything up. I don't think I've done a single race Zandvoort, and I've done quite a lot on this game where it's been raining. I imagine some people won't even have wet setups. So this is
maybe not.
This is quite crazy. We've got the first person coming out the pits now, and it is
a Renault.
Yeah, we've also got a Haas.
Oh, and the Haas just pulled in front of it.
Yeah, a bit of a dangerous release, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Might have to have
right.
words
So we've
with
got
stewards.
Indigo at the front.
Yeah, Indigo's the first one out, and is it intermediates or is it full wets? It's intermediates.
Intermediates for Indigo, yeah.
Yeah, I will get up some of the track data now. Get the track map as well. So we're seeing Indigo on his outlap. He's one of the contenders, but with this rain, really, it just shakes everything up, really. I'm not sure what to expect, and with a grid as talented as this, then to have rain to it, really no idea what to expect. And it's going to take a lot of skill for these drivers who I presume won't have had that much wet practice on this track. We've already got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Oh, and I think it was Young Lights there with a little spin.
All been cleared now.
Yeah, all cleared now. And yeah, very tricky conditions. So Indigo's going to be the first one to come around. It's quite a short lap here. TT times vary. I mean, I think some of the best ones out of my friend's list was a 1:08 flat. And apparently Mumford's saying that it's a dry race, so a lot of these people will be running dry setups. So that'll be interesting as well. Dry race, but wet quali. Indigo starts his lap now. Goes into the first corner. This swooping corner. It's very easy. You have to be careful not to touch the curbs, whether in rain or dry. Behind him, one of the Renaults. That's the Renault. Racer. Yeah, laggy racers, you say. Indigo coming around this first corner. Williams getting right out the way there. We're going to continue on board with Indigo at the moment. We've also got Droftas on a lap. We've got Milan Mega on a lap. And we've also got Laggy, who's just behind Indigo on a lap. As we come to the end of the first sector, a little bit on the curb there, and it's a 34.2. I'm not going to lie, I'm not really sure what a quick wet time is around here, because I have not, as I said, not had any real wet practice or experience here. So it's a bit of an unknown. I guess we'll just have to see what's quick and what's not. I can imagine Indigo will be one of those setting one of the quicker times. He does a 55.2 in the second sector. We've got a yellow flag in the second sector, actually. And I think it's been cleared now, but we go back to Indigo then, as he's coming around this final banked corner, this really incredible banked corner. He's gone very close to the grass there, could have potentially lost the car there. He's going to be the first one across the line, and it's a 1:19.3, and just behind him is Laggy Racer. We're going to get to him in time. We are going to get him to time. It's 1:21.4.
1:21.
Milan Mega's just gone quite a bit quicker, and the times are tumbling. I'm struggling to keep up here. Droftas with a 1:19.1. Wow. Milan Mega with a 1:18.8. Who else have we got? We've got Phil Razor here. He's in Sector 1. Who have we got in Sector 2? Andreas on a lap. VIL NUF1 on a lap. And Young Lights has binned it. He's binned it right at the final straight. And he's got some damage there. He's going to limp back to the pits. He's lost it there. I didn't see exactly what happened, but I just imagine he must have clipped maybe the grass or something. But either way, his YouTube Nova to start his lap, not set his time. We'll have a look at Phil Razor. I know he's got a lot of fans in the comments. He's now onto the final sector, so I will be on him. Someone says in the comments, wet race, Phil Razor's speciality. Well, it's a wet qualifying, not a wet race. But let's see. I think he might have backed. Has he backed off here, or no? He's still going for it.
Very close to the wall there.
You have to get quite close, as we see more times. Total P's with a 1:19.0. Phil Razor goes sixth fastest with a 1:19.9. Andreas with a 1:19.4. Gernman's just got his lap in that beautiful black Mercedes, which I'm so glad they brought in the patch. We've also got Lost Souls And here's Brandon VIL NUF1, as I should call him, as there's a yellow flag in Sector 3, hopefully. Oh, and there's someone binned it! It's a Haas!
Oh, dear.
And it's the Haas. Who
YouTube
is
Nova,
that
maybe?
Haas? YouTube Nova? It's not
no.
showing, but either way,
Oh, the Haas,
Brandon,
Indigo.
I wonder if that... It was Indigo, wow. I wonder if that impacted VIL NUF1, because he's gone 8th fastest 121, but 120.1, but obviously that must have impacted him at some point, because in the middle of the track, he had to swerve to avoid it. There was a struck-in car. So we've had 2 people into the wall. No one's out of quali yet. We've had quite a bit of wing damage, but so far 13 times on the board. And currently Milan Mago is leading Q1 with a 118.8. Obviously the drop zone is P from, well, I guess we haven't got a P20, so it's from P19 to P16. That is the drop zone, so the danger zone, you're looking at 15th, 14th, 13th. Really depends on time. Brentbo does a 121.2. She's in the pits now. And it looks like quite a few people are doing second runs. We look at VIL and UF1. Phil Razor, he looks like he's doing another lap. He was 3 seconds slower on that lap, so I'm guessing maybe a cool-down lap before going again. Phil is not afraid of the rain is afraid of Phil. Well, if that's the case then, Phil will be right up there. And I do expect it, actually, considering the pace he showed in the eval race. And he seems to have probably the best support in the league, as we're on board with him now. Total Peas is also on a lap, I think, unless he comes in. Mumford is into the pits. Just going to stay on board with Phil Razor here.
Milan Margo now coming out for a second lap.
And he is, of course, currently first with a time of 118.8. Only person to break into the 118 so far. So that is the benchmark for Q1. But, of course, well, unless the track gets wet, it will get quicker. I'm not sure what, obviously, the forecast is if it's wet for all 3 sessions. But Phil Razor's just done 2 purple sectors. So this looks like it might be the quickest time, if he can keep it together for this final sector. Got to look out for yellow flags, because the last 2 I missed, I sort of caught the end of.
Yeah, they're hard to catch straight away.
Yeah, they are, and it's difficult to shift to the right car. Here comes Phil Razor across the line, and as expected from those 2 purple sectors, it's a 118.6. He's gone fastest, and I'm sure the Phil gang will be absolutely delighted.
2.5 tenths faster.
Yeah, and in the wet, that's
quite
impressive.
the lap.
Very impressive. Andreas also on a lap. He's in the second sector, but he's quite a bit off the pace, 2.4 seconds off the pace. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I think that's gone now. Maybe someone going
sector
slowly.
Sector 1, sector 2 as well.
Someone probably going slowly. Indigo, I think, is about to start his lap, or is he on a flying? We're about to see what this is going to be. 118.6 the time to beat. He doesn't beat it. He gets a 119.3. In fact, he was slightly down on his time. And yeah, so currently Phil Razor and Milan Mago are the ones setting the pace, but I'd expect to keep an eye out on Total Ps, because we know he is very quick on this game. And he's shown that he's currently in P3, but look at the gap between him and Andreas. That is... And I've just noticed something, Tavis, that Andreas and Younglights are matched for times.
Oh, wow.
They
right
are, they are identical. Absolutely identical. And Mumford saying those fools on wet setups. Yeah, maybe people are going for wet setups in quali, but that will hurt them in the race if it's dry, which apparently it is. So we will have to see. Younglights certainly one to watch as well, as he hugs the curb there. And we've got a car behind him. Is he going to get out of the way? Or I think, yeah, he is. That is.
Oh, and a 5-place grid penalty for YouTube Nova.
Oh.
For a collision.
Do we know who that collision was with?
No, I didn't catch it fast enough.
It's a collision with ISRL Gernman, a 5-place grid penalty. So he is currently in 8th place. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. Not sure. It's Total Ps. He's binned it. And unfortunately... Oh, and also Milan's round. Milan Mago's round as well. Oh, my goodness. We've had our first retirement and about our 4th crash now in qualifying. This is what wet qualifying does. So Ps will not be taking part in the rest of this session then. And he will have to start in 15th position. He won't be able to take part in any of the qualifying. That's Really bad for him. I didn't catch what exactly happened, but he's obviously lost it in Sector 1. Milan into the pits, and that's devastating for Pease, who, the one thing, he had the pace last season, but he did not have the consistency to get those finishes.
Yeah, he was quick here.
And, I mean, I know that because somehow I ended up finishing with more points than him last season, despite the fact that he actually got quite a few podiums, and I didn't, because of the fact that he struggled to finish. He is a lot better this game, though, at finishing, but disappointing as we see most of the top 5 in the pits. Young Lights on a lap. He's 2/10 quicker in that second sector.
Dan Murphy's struggling there a bit.
Oh, Total Pease has retired in the pits. That was my bad. I just saw the yellow flag. So he thinks he's through. So he's just retired from that. So there was no drama. The drama, I guess, was Milan spinning. Comes Young Lights across the line. He does improve. A 1:18.7. 3/10 up on his previous time. Only 2/10 behind first place, and I've just missed that. Droftas has gone into first. A 1:18.5, a 10th quicker than Phil Razor. Wow, these times keep on tumbling at the moment. And
maybe some of the Phil Razor fans need to switch over.
Well, I think they're loyal. I think they're too loyal. They request that Phil Razor to be recognised as Philinho. I mean, I'll try and remember that. Is there any specific name that the Phil gang want to be called? Because I'm just calling you the Phil gang at the moment. But anyway, we got Brandon on lap, VIL, NUF1. I keep calling him Brandon, but I just find it annoying to say his name, to be honest. And he's going into the pits. So
Dan Murphy goes 1:19.1.
Yes, Dan Murphy. He will be looking for a good start to the season as defending champion. He's in 7th place currently. And Nova in 11th, of course, got a 5-place grid penalty. Really disappointing for him. And that was for a collision with German, who is currently sitting on the cusp of the relegation zone. He's in 15th position. He's gone down to 16th. He's down into it now. I think that was Rempo who just put in a time. It was Rempo. She's put German down into the relegation zone. Lost Souls, who hasn't done a time yet, is on his outlap. He's left it quite late to do a time, I'd say so. Like, that seems very odd.
Maybe waiting for the track to dry out a little.
Doesn't look like it's drying out at the moment, though. I wouldn't say that. Also, one to look out for is Knowlesy in that beautiful black Mercedes. I really do love that livery. I'm so glad they finally added it into the game. It makes time trial as well a lot more satisfying because you want to do it, because you want to drive in that black Merc. Black Merc. Excuse my horrific language there. Knowlesy into the drop zone now. I'm not sure who improved there, but here's Knowlesy going across the line. There was 7 seconds slower, so surely a cool down lap. And they'll be going again now. German in Sector 1, Rempo in Sector 3, but she's 4 seconds down, so she won't be improving. VIL and UF1 just coming out the pits now. We've also got YouTube Nova on a lap. We've got Indigo, who is just ending Sector 2 now. We're going to see if he's up on his time. As Mumford is retired from the session, I'm sure we'll hear in chat what happened to him, but there's no yellow flag, so I presume it was a retirement. And oh my word, Young Lights has just gone to a 1:18.2. That's 3/10 quicker than Droftas. He is, well, he's shown himself to be quick on time trial. But yeah, to do it in the wet and to be that quick, it's one thing on TT, it's another thing under pressure. Milan also up on their time in Sector 2. Indigo's retired. They are not safe. They are on the cusp of it. They are in 15th. We have quite a few people retiring. I'm unsure why Indigo retired. Again, no yellow flags. Farhad goes across with a 1:20.1. German is 5/10
Oh yeah,
up.
Indigo has a 5-place grid penalty.
Oh wow, so he'll be starting dead last then in 15th.
No, he's in 15th from his penalty.
No, they don't put it in until after the
They do.
race.
Because it shows it. Yeah. Because he's below people with 1:19.9.
But he'd still get to go. Oh, and that was on board with German, and he just scraped the barrier there and ruined his lap. He was only just starting
Half
another
of his
one.
front wings missing.
Yep, it is indeed. And most of the top people have retired, thinking they're through. We got VIL and UF1, who probably isn't safe at the moment, no, because he's just moved down to 13th. As Lost Souls has put in a time of 1:19.1, pushes themselves up to 8th. So I'd say the people in the danger zone are VIL and UF1. German, Indigo is pretty much screwed at this point. Rempo's in the pits. We've got Farhad and Mar on a lap. They are the potential people who are trying to get out of this Q1, and it's not good news for German because they're going to have to pit because of that damage to the front wing, and I'm not sure they're going to have time to go out again. It's a short track,
UF1
but under rain.
improved 2/10 on his first sector.
Yeah, and we're on board with him now. Let's see how he does in the second sector. There is a yellow flag, but I think that's a car going slow. Mumford claiming that lights is an 100% wet setup, but I tell you what, I wouldn't put it past him to be on a dry setup and to be doing that time, because he is an alien on this game. But we will see, and we'll see if he is, how that affects him in the race. We're coming into Sector 3 now, onto the banked bit of the track. VIL and UF1, he was improving.
This is shaping up to be a good lap.
Let's see what he can do on the board. This is looking good. And he does improve. He's up to 10th.
5 cents quicker.
That should see him safe. That should see him safe. We've also got Farhad. Laggy Racer is 9/10 up in the first sector. 9/10. And that is a good point. I am going to go to full track map, actually. Because there's a yellow flag, Andreas. And that's in
You're not even on full track
sector.
map. What kind of commentary is this?
Tavis, it's this sort of snide remarks are going to cause problems with our commentary team. We've got Mar 5 attacking. I guess they couldn't improve. Or was that a retirement? I think it was a retirement. There is a car stranded in Sector 3. If I can't really get to that.
Sector 3
but on the mini-map, there is a...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there it is. It's a stricken car, and it was a retirement. As Farhad goes up to 8th position, and that was a retirement. Knowlesy, that was just a retirement in the pit lane. So currently, we have German, Rentbo, Mar 5 attacking, and Guna, who are the ones that who are not making it to Q2. Rentbo, though, is just starting her lap, so let's see if she can improve. German's on his out lap. He's got to get round in time. He might be okay, but he's going to have to put in quite a quick... Well, actually, I'm not sure he will make it. Because if it's a 1:19 to go round, as Nova retires, Lost Souls retires from the session. And we are now looking at only a few people in the danger zone, as we have safety through the top 5 Young Lights, Droftas, Phil Razor, Dan Murphy, Milan, Total Peas, Andreas, Farhad, Lost Souls, YouTube Nova, VIL and UF1, Mumford Plays, Laggy Racer, and then I guess on the cusp of it, you have Knowlesy, Indigo, and maybe even Laggy Racer. And those in the drop zone, German, Rentbo, Mar 5 attacking, and Guna. We're on board with the wrong person, really, because German's on their outlap. Just interested to see if they manage to make it. As Rentbo goes to the end of the second sector, she is slightly up on her time. She needs to improve.
10th up at the moment.
She needs to improve by quite a bit, though, because the next driver is Indigo, and she needs to improve by about 5-6 tenths if she's going to get into
Unless you
this
can have
next
an amazing third sector. This is probably...
Well, I was right. German didn't make it. German didn't make it.
Oh, there's a mangled car still in the middle of the track.
Yeah, that's very dangerous. Rentbo, unfortunately for her,
Marshals.
she doesn't make it out off Q1, but obviously she's a Division 2 driver reserving, so she's up against some excellent talent. She's done a decent job today. German didn't make it, I do believe, or are they still going around? I'm not sure, but when the time went, it seemed like he wasn't on a lap, but we'll give it the benefit of doubt and stay on board, because otherwise I believe he would have retired. And he's 2 tenths up. German needs to aim for something better than a 193 to get into Q2.
He's been on the
Indigo
right track.
said, I thought it was short qualifying, that's why I did so many laps. And they're not making it into Q2. Well, it all depends, Indigo, whether you make it into Q2, if German can improve enough. And it's... I mean, I don't know if that's the game, but it's saying a purple middle sector, but it was only 2 tenths better, so I think it might have just been the game. So Indigo will be watching this lap very keenly, I imagine, to see if they make it into Q2. If not, Indigo is going to have a tough time in the race, but with his pace, he's always got a chance still. Final banked corner. Oh, and he's had a massive tank slapper.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge tank slapper. But he's made it, he's improved. And
he still went 10th fastest.
How is Indigo... not out? I guess Knowlesy drops in. I did not see Knowlesy's time there, so Indigo has actually made it into Q2. So, unfortunately, from this qualifying, we are losing Knowlesy, Rempbo, Mar5 attacking, and Guna. But really eventful first qualifying of the season, first Q1 of the season, and we look forward to in Q2. But yeah, we have lost Knowlesy, Rempbo, Mar5 attacking, and Guna. Indigo just sneaks through, and how Gurman managed to improve with that tank slapper at the end shows how good a time he must have been on, because he nearly lost that. That could have been in the wall.
He saved that well.
Oh, apparently Indigo fully crashed out. So that means that Indigo will not be taking part in Q2 and will be starting 15th on the grid. So that's devastating for Indigo, but with his pace, I'm sure he'll still be a real threat in the race. We'll obviously get the free choice of tyres, but we know he can be a lot quicker than that. So we just wait for those in the pit to... well, everyone's in the pits. I'm not sure what we're waiting for particularly.
Hey, come on, people.
I mean, yeah. Not really sure what to say now. Just sort of looking at...
Well, we've got a nice 15 seconds now to wait for these people to retire.
Yes, no, but I think what
garage.
Indigo's saying is that he crashed, so he won't be... Because it wasn't just a retirement, he fully crashed, so he won't be in
Yeah,
Q2.
his car is wrecked.
There's confirmation of Nova's 5-place grid penalty.
Oh yeah, it was Nova, not Indigo. Yeah.
And you can see there, Indigo is eliminated because of that. We lose Indigo, Knowlesy, Rempbo, Mar5 attacking, and Guna from the session. Laggy Racer just getting through. And yeah, so we go into Q2. And a very interesting...
That was quite an eventful, yeah.
Well, it's always going to be eventful in the rain, isn't it? Mumford Plays saying, please dry up. Well, I mean, I kind of hope not for the entertainment value, but I guess if I was a driver...
From the commentator's perspective, I think it's better that it stays wet.
Oh, but if I was a driver, though, I don't blame them. I would 100% want it to dry up, because it's horrific. At least it's not full wet conditions, and if it gets wetter, I really feel sorry for them, because in full wet conditions, I can barely keep it on the track. But yeah, so I guess the VIL gang will be happy that Felinho, as they call him, is into Q2.
And it is still raining for Q2.
It is. It is still raining. And the VIL gang's still going strong in chat. And I wonder if anyone can tell us in chat if the forecast is if it's getting wetter or drier or whatever. We're sort of guessing here.
How come we can't see the forecast?
Oh, I think
that should be an option.
I think so as well, but unfortunately we're not privileged.
Come on, Codemasters.
I agree. This is just nasty. What is Mumford? Tavis is commentating. I get that. The first one out on track. The first one out on track is Andreas. Oh, staying wet. Okay, right. Yeah. Andreas is the first car out in that Alfa Romeo. Milan also out there in the Racing Point.
Oh yeah, thank you for the clarification there, Mumford. He wasn't talking about my commentator. He was talking about the fact that the track is still wet.
I know that, but I was just making a dig anyway.
Yeah.
Tavern man.
So
it's just a dynamic we have.
Just vote in the comments whether you think who's the best commentator.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that, Tavis. I think your influence is too powerful in this league. I feel like you'd convince people to vote for you just through intimidation tactics. As we have Pease out on his outlap, Gurman, Nova, Milan, VIL, and you have one who's right up behind someone. We got Droftas and Andreas, who's the first one out. We've also got Phil Razor out now. He goes through the first sector on his outlap. And Andreas
Phil Razor
now
will be one to watch.
He will indeed. And now we go to Andreas on his flying lap, just starting now as we see someone else coming out the pits. I hope they don't interfere with his lap. But Andreas coming around that first corner to Renault, and he won't interfere with the lap, which is good to see. We've also seemed to have lost the lap data for some reason.
Turn it back on.
I have. Milan also started their lap in the Racing Point. But we're going to stick on board with, as we always do, with the first person who crosses a line for for their lap in the session, and that is Andreas.
Taking a lot of curb there.
Is indeed. It's very risky in the wet conditions to do that.
Yeah.
You can easily lose the car.
He's controlled it well.
He has, and he seems to have done that corner quite nicely. As we come into Sector 2 now and round this archery corner, and we got a yellow flag in Sector 3. I think it's a car going slower because
Someone's
I can
slowing down, probably.
I can see nothing in Sector 3 on the track map. Thank you to whoever recommended that, because Andreas does a purple Sector 2. Of course he does, because he's the first one to do a Sector 2. He's the first one on the track. And Andreas now coming around the corner. He will set the benchmark for this qualifying session. Of course, only the top 10 going through. We have 14 in here because Indigo binned it in Q1, and he comes across the line. It's a 189, and judging,
that is good.
Yeah, judging from Q1.
Session.
Yeah, of course, it could have got drier, it could have got quicker. Well, I mean, Milan's just done a 118.5,
wow.
so wow, that's quite incredible. Phil Razor in Sector 1. Let's see what he does for Sector 1. It's a purple Sector 1 for Phil Razor, so we'll keep an eye on him. Droftas now coming into Sector 3. Onto the final straight. What's Droftas going to do? He's going to go fast. It's a 118.4. So, Dan Murphy also coming out the pits. Phil Razor has not done a purple middle sector, though. As Total P's does a 118.584. And look how close that is between Total P's and Milan. And Andreas Nova does a 119.0. Of course, he's got that penalty. And someone's binned it in Sector 3. And it is... I'm not quite sure who that is. It's a McLaren. And it might be Mumford. I think it's Mumford. As VIL and UF1 does a 119.2. I think it was Mumford. And Phil Razor now comes across the line. And it's only good enough for fourth with 118.3. And I can confirm that was Mumford who lost it. He's coming in now for his wing. For his wing change. But you can't really do that in qualifying. Ignore me. Andreas, is he going to be setting a second lap, or is he going to be going into the pits? He's setting a second lap. This is a slower lap, so I'm guessing it was a slow down lap, the previous one before, and he's going to go again. We're seeing a lot of yellow flags, but I'm looking carefully on the map.
They're all people slowing down.
Yeah, they're just people slowing down. So we got quite a few people, pretty much everyone on laps. Phil Razor's not on a flying, though. Milan's about to start one. Pease isn't on a flying, he's about to start one, I think.
Mumford saying in chat was just pulling off my best Tokyo Drift impression. Yeah.
Oh well, that's
it was. I thought it was quite good.
Oh, VIL NUF1 has just had a little bit of a tank slapper coming out there as the Williams gets right out of his way. Currently sitting in 7th place. I'm not sure if this is a cool-down lap. We're going to see a lot of people seem to be doing them. It's not. He's going into the pits. Leonardo Takoke says, sorry if that's a horrific pronunciation of your name. If Foligno has 1 million fans, I'm one of them. Foligno only has one fan, it's me. If he has no fans, I'm no longer in this world. If the world is against Foligno, I'm against the world. Truly inspiring stuff there. Now we're going to look at... Andreas has just gone 0.2 quicker in Sector 2, so he's one to look out for.
Sector 3, I mean, yeah.
No, this is a Sector 3, Tavis. I was right the first time. And he's gone 1/10 quicker. He's up to P4. Next up is Milan, and as we see, Young Knight setting his first time. It's not particularly quick for him, and Lost Soul setting... Oh, he's lost it! That's a pretty horrific crash, I'm not going to lie. He's got to be careful rejoining the track. Milan losing that there, and we got it on camera this time. And he's trying to return to the pits as Droftas sets the fastest lap of a 118.1. He's 0.3 up on his previous fastest time. Milan managed to get his way into the pits. Andreas has gone onto the gravel.
Onto the gravel, yeah.
I'm not sure if he's getting out of the way or something. YouTube Nova going incredibly
extreme
slow.
for getting out of the way.
Yeah, it was quite extreme. As we see some more movement. There's another yellow flag, and it's another person binning it. We're on board with Nova. Oh, and has he been taken out there? No, it's the ghosting system saves him. It's a Williams, and I think that was it Total P's? It was Total P's there. So we've just seen Total P's and Milan bin it in exactly the same place. Wow. Phil Razor comes into the pits in P5 with a 118.8. We've got another yellow flag, but it's someone going slow. But every time there's a yellow flag in that Sector 3, it just seems to be, as Farhad goes 0.9 quicker, but every time there's a yellow flag in Sector 3, it seems to be someone has binned it in that same place at the moment.
Yeah, Sector 3 is a fast section though, so you would expect a lot of crashes there.
Yeah, especially in these conditions, but Farhad has managed to keep it on the track, and he's done a time of 1:19.4. That's a second up on his previous time. It's only put him up, though, from P11 to P10, but it's better than nothing, and currently he is through. Of course, still 7 minutes to go in the session. We still haven't had lap times from Laggy or Mumford. Mumford having that Tokyo drift earlier, remember.
That is a sensational lap from Droftas.
It really is, isn't it? 4/10 quicker than Young Lights, as we see Young Lights has actually gone to second, leapfrogging Pease. But yeah, to be that much quicker is actually incredible, and he must have had an absolute phenomenal lap. Oh, and Mumford nearly lost it again, but he's managed to keep hold of it. He puts in a time. It's not good enough for the top 10 at the moment. It's a 1:19.4. We've also got a yellow flag in Sector 1 and Sector 3, but that's someone going slow, so ignore that. Is this Dan Murphy coming across? I'm so sorry, that was... Ignore me, I'm an idiot. That was Laggy Racer starting their lap.
NUF1 now coming out of the pits as well.
Yeah, we got a few people coming out to do their final run. Dan Murphy, the defending champion, currently in P7 in this Q2. He'll be looking to get a bit more safety by putting in a quicker time, although these times are already so competitive. He's actually done a purple sector 1, or was it Sector 2? Sector 2. It's purple Sector 2 from Dan. So this should be promising.
A lot to watch.
Yeah, it definitely will be. And let's see what Dan can pull together here. So he goes into the last corner. Got to be careful, so careful not to lose it where others have, and he's lost it. He's lost it. Can he save his wheel? He can. Oh my word! Every time it seems.
Close.
He's done really well to keep it off the wall. A bit of a Max Verstappen moment in Brazil, where he's managed to keep it out of the wall. And in the end, quite impressive. Mumford on another lap. Or are they slowing down? We'll see. They're in the final sector either way. We've also got Milan on a lap in Sector 1. Total P's on the out lap. Young Lights is on a lap in Sector 1. We'll go back to Mumford as he crosses
at risk at the moment.
He is. He's in the drop zone, but he's about to start his lap. And we've also got Lost Souls. I mean, look, it's a 5/10 gap at the moment between 10th and 11th. And these times, I mean, look at... I mean, apart from first, everyone is incredibly close. There's 3/4 from second down to 9th. So yeah, it's incredibly close. And I think everyone pretty much is at risk here, apart from probably Droftas.
Probably.
On board with VIL and UF1, there's a yellow flag, but someone going slow again. And he's improving,
half a tenth,
but not that much. The next time to him is 1:19.078, so he's got to improve a bit more, but he's got other sectors to do it. We're on board with him now. We've also got a Williams
sliding a bit around that corner.
Is that the Williams of Total P's? It is the Williams of Total P's, so we're going to see VIL and UF1. We're going to see VIL and UF1 cross the line, and then we're going to see Total P's cross the line right after. But is VIL and UF1 going to slow up Total P's here? It will be interesting to see. I mean, they are because of how close. Yeah, I mean, how close they are. And Pease has lost it. Pease has lost it. Has he? He's lost it again. And I didn't actually see. Yeah, VIL and UF1 did improve on his time. VIL and UF1 did improve on his time. He got a 1:19.019, but it's still good enough only for 10th. There's other people
still at risk.
And Pease there. Another scary moment. Will he be safe? He's got time to do another option. Laggy Racer giving up and retiring from the session. I don't believe they retired on track. So Pease comes into the pit. Droftas comes into the pit. Milan doing a very slow lap at the moment. Young Lights is slightly up in his time in Sector 2, so he's on a flying, so we're going to stick with Young Lights. As we see Filino put in chat. And Mumford said that last corner is a little poo. I'm sure many drivers would agree with you today. Young Lights not on a lap, though, because he's let someone through. And I'm not sure who that someone was. We're going to see Phil Razor start his lap now. VIL and UF1 is backing off at the moment. Lost Souls on a lap. A yellow flag in Sector 3, but it's someone going slowly. There's people very close to each other. It's Dan about to start his flying lap. He, of course, spun on that previous lap when he was trying to improve, like so many have today, it seems. And Dan Murphy starts his flying lap. The out lap was a 1:22.4, so actually quite a pacey out lap, to be honest. 2 minutes left in the session, and currently in the drop zone. We have Lost Souls, Mumford, Farhad and Laggy Racer. But worth noting that the people at risk, it's so close between VIL and UF1, German, even Dan Murphy. I'd say right up to possibly Milan Maego's just done a 118.2, so they should be safe. Droftas certainly thinks he's safe. He's retired from the session. I'd probably say everyone, I think low 118.5, you should be all right. As Lost Souls has improved to put a 118.7, that puts VIL NUF1 in the drop zone. He's in the pits. He's going to have to get out as quickly as possible. There's a yellow flag in sector 3, someone going slowly. Farhad also on a lap. We've got Dan Murphy in sector 2. He's gone a 10th quicker. We've got Young Lights on a slow. Andreas in sector 2. Milan is about to start a quick lap. Andreas slightly slower, so we're going to go back. Phil Razor's starting a quick lap. Going to go back to Dan. He's 2 tenths up in sector 2, but remember he was doing well in the last lap he did, but then he spun it at this very bit, so he's got to be careful coming around this final corner. He nearly loses it again. And that's a Racing Point who has lost it, but they've avoided damage. And Dan Murphy improves on his time, but only by a 10th in the end. It's a 118.7, and that yellow flag is for a Racing Point. And I'm not sure.
NUF1 coming out now, cutting it very close.
He is, because a 1 minute 22. Remember, that was the outlap time of Phil Razor, I do believe. And there's 1 minute 14 left. I'm not sure. He might just make it, but he's going to have to really go for it. And it's not. You don't particularly want to be a quick outlap in the rain because you're really risking it at that point. We're on board with Phil Razor. He's 3 tenths quicker. He's currently really at risk at the moment of the drop zone in 8th position. And look how close. I mean, he's only 2 tenths quicker than NUF1 at the moment, who is in the drop zone, but he is improving. As I said, 3 tenths quicker there. He has to make sure he doesn't make that fatal error that so many drivers seem to be doing. If he doesn't, he comes around the final corner. What time is it going to be? It's going to be an 18.3, and that should definitely put him safe. A really good effort from Phil Razor. That's put him up to P3. Lost Souls has retired from the session. I don't believe he crashed out. Correct me if you can see any debris or anything. No. Huge crash from Dan Murphy. Huge crash. He's lost the wheel. And someone's also lost their wing who's gone racing into the pits. Dan Murphy is out, the defending champion.
VIL NUF1.
Oh my goodness.
As he just makes it onto
Where are the marshals? Get that car out. It's in a very dangerous position.
Yeah.
That's going to cause a horrific accident if that's not moved. Qualifying is officially over. If they haven't started their lap, it is over. VIL NUF1 has his 2 tenths up. That was on his outlap, so I think he has just made it either way. Total P is also on a lap. I can't believe that the defending champion of VIL is out. He will be into, at this rate, be into Q3, but there are still other people on laps.
Possibly out if NUF1 gets a better lap here.
Either way, he won't be taking part. He won't be taking part in Q3, even if he does get through. Was that a invalidation there from VIL and UF1? I'm not 100% sure. German goes P9.
Bit of a slide.
Pease hasn't. He might have improved on this time, but he stayed P5th. So
P5th,
I mean, really,
yeah.
Nova's only
P5th.
Managed to improve to P8. So P5th. Can you shut up, please? I'm broken, okay? VIL NUF1 improves again in the second sector, but not as much as the first. Farhad will not be entering Q3. He has finished his lap. So will Mumford. So now it is all down to VIL NUF1. Can he get into Q3 and put the defending champion, who's already won't be taking part, out? He's managed to hold it round the corner. He's gone very close to the wall, as you're supposed to. He's going to cross the line, and it is enough. And a good effort. And
VIL and UF1 into Q3.
Indeed, a very good effort indeed. And that means that we have, although Dan Murphy has actually made it into Q3, he of course will not be taking part. So it will really be a top 9 shootout. Mumford, disappointed to have missed out. He's got 12th position. But YouTube Nova's got a 5-place grid penalty, hasn't he? So if that's any consolation, you should be starting ahead. Well, if Nova doesn't do too well in Q3, you might be starting ahead of Nova, so you might go up a position, Mumford. But yeah, the people through: Droftas, Milan, Phil Razor, Andreas, Total P's, Young Lights, Lost Souls, YouTube Nova, and VIL NUF1. Dan Murphy is through technically, but will not be able to take part after a really violent crash whilst we were on board. I don't know if that was the commentator's curse or whatever. But yeah, the marshals seem to be very slow today, don't they?
Yeah, they just like leaving them out.
I mean, you're just seeing cars coming around the final sector having to dodge
Just
it.
the wreckage. Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough, this track in the rain.
Yeah, well, that, I mean, to dodge more cars.
Exactly.
And it's still wet for Q3.
Indeed. So it looks like we're not going to have any dry sessions at all. Droftas saying he prefers the wet. Well, that is quite rare, especially, but
okay.
comes in handy because Droftas is pretty quick in the dry as well. So I guess that works. And it looks like first out. Who have we got first out there, Tavis?
We have Andreas.
Yes, the Alfa Romeo of Andreas is the first one out. He was the first one out for Q2 as well. Remember, maybe he
Keen
just
to
knows
get out
that.
quick.
Well, maybe he knows that whoever goes out first, I follow them for the first lap. So maybe he wants the screen time.
The fame.
And there is a lot of fame. We've got 17 viewers actually at the moment, so it is a lot of fame.
All came for my commentating.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%, Thomas. Yeah. But yeah, thank you again for all your support of this first race of the VIL season. And I hope you're enjoying the qualifying so far. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't expecting a wet quali for the first qualifying session of the season, but there you go. Makes it a lot more interesting. And it's going to make the grid very interesting as well, because we're missing some big names. We're missing Dan Murphy's going to be starting in 10th. Indigo's going to be starting in 15th. Very quick drivers who are going to have to make their way through the field. So yeah, we've got everyone on outlap at the moment, apart from VIL NUF1. Who did a really good last job. Well, a bit of a tank slapper there for Andreas. Who did a really good job getting into Q3 after being on the cusp for so long. Put a really good lap together. But we're going to see Andreas now come round to start his lap. It seems to be so easy to lose the back end around that corner. And the Phil gang does indeed have his numbers. Will Phil go for pole? I'm sure I'm going to see a lot of Phil for pole comments in there. We've also got Milan starting his lap. He's just gone to the first corner now, and in the background you can see Young Lights there. And I'm really not sure who's got this pole in the bag. I can see Phil Razor getting pole, Andreas, Droftas, Milan, Young Lights, Peas, really any of them, and I guess it's
really
just
is all to play for.
Yeah, I mean, I can see about 7 of these 9 drivers getting pole position, and even the ones who potentially I don't see could always get it, because all it takes is one lap round here, one really good lap, and someone to make a mistake. So one of the big boys, Andreas, is invalidated, so we won't follow him. He's lost his chance of fame. We're on board with Droftas at the moment. We've got Milan, Nova, who's furthest ahead. I do believe after Andreas, it was Milan.
Milan, yes.
Yeah, so we're going to stick on board with him for now. VIL NUF1 is now out. He is on his out lap. And he's done a purple sector 2 because the first person to do it, as there was an invalidation from Andreas's. A Ferrari going very slowly there. I do believe that's VIL NUF1 about to start his lap. A little bit of a shake of the nose there from Milan. A little bit of lack of grip maybe. He comes round and he will be putting the first lap time on the board. It's a 1:18.5, and we saw that incredible time from Droftas of a 1:18.1. That was the quickest. Young Lights with only enough with a 1:18.8. And we will see who's on provisional pole when everyone's done their laps. Phil Razor currently, and I don't. Oh, why does this keep happening? It keeps putting off the lap data for some reason. It's not a purple sector 2. Oh, Total P's with a 1:18 flat. Well, 1:18.1 was the fastest of the session. Wow. He's 3/10 quicker than Droftas, who's the one who set that 1:18.1. And he's on provisional pole at the moment.
For P's then, yes.
That's going to take some beating, although Lost Souls has also done a 1:18.2, so perhaps he's a contender for pole that I shouldn't have ruled out. Well, Phil Razor didn't have a great second sector, but he's done a 1:18.1. So this is unbelievably close, this battle for pole. And Mumford's saying, now I don't believe these lot have dry setups. I mean, they are aliens, to be honest, Mumford. So many of them are so good. And we're just waiting now for Andreas, who hasn't invalidated this lap, to now Andreas and VIL and UF1, and then we'll know for definite who is on that provisional pole. It's looking like Total P's. That's a mighty time to beat. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only way you could beat that is if you somehow got into the 170s, which would be mighty impressive, as Andreas does a 1:18.9. VIL and UF1 must have invalidated or something, because he's into the pits. And that means that Total P's is on provisional pole with a 1:18.035. Quite remarkable. Can you see anyone out there beating it? I mean, I can see people beating it, but... Oh, yeah, they're parked there. Is that... It's Young Lights. I think he's had an incident. Milan's retired from the session. And... I'm not sure. That looks like it's in Sector 2.
Young Lights just crashed into the pit wall and lost part of his wing.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of...
Lost a bit of traction there.
Someone has crashed in Sector 2. And...
Sector 2 as well.
Yeah, that was Milan, who's out. He was one of the contenders for pole, but he's lost it, and he is out. Total Pease is actually still out there. He's on a lap. He's only 0.038 down. So I do believe he's going to be going to improve that time, which is absolutely ridiculous, but considering how quick that is. Phil Ray's is on a lap. Young Lights in the pits. Andreas is out there. VIL, NUF1's the only one not to have set a time yet. And Nova, who has a 5-place grid penalty, in 8th with a 1:18.9. Well, Pease is not going to improve on his time. He's Sector 2, 7/10 down, and he's backing off as a result. What I was going to say is, can you see anyone beating Pease time? Because that is... It's going to take something incredible, isn't it? I mean, a 1:18.035.
I don't see it happening. Because you'd have to get sub 18, and that is going to be some hell of a lap.
It really is. Well, Droftas gets close. He gets very close. He's put himself up to P2, a 1:18.134. But, so he's pretty much matched...
Still a tenth down.
Yeah, he's pretty much matched or beaten what he did in Q2 of the last session. But, it's going to be so difficult. And there's someone right behind him. I think it's Young Lights on the outlap, so he's not holding him up or anything. But yeah, that's a mighty time to beat, and Pease is now finally coming into the pits. Will that be the pole time then, or will we see an improvement? We've got Mumford supporting Droftas because he wants that street party. It is a good incentive, I think, for that street party to get people supporting you. We've got some more support for Phil.
I hope we can come to this street party.
I hope so as well. I would love to go to it. Of course, all socially distanced. Droftas... sorry, Phil is still warming up, says Leonardo. Well, yeah, he's still in P3.
And you have still not done a lap.
Indeed he has, but you think he's only going to have one shot at it. But indeed, Phil is warming up, but it's going to take something quite incredible to beat Pease. But with the support of his fans, you might be able to get him an extra 10th off. Well, Mumford actually lives 5 minutes away from Droftas, so he could actually go to that party. Droftas is not going to improve on this lap. He's going into the pits. Maybe with the incentive of that party, he may go faster. Indeed. Young Light starts his lap. Nova also just starting his lap. We've got outlap for Lost Souls. No one else is out yet at the moment. We just have Lost Souls, Andreas on outlaps, and Young Lights and YouTube Nova on flying. So we're going to stick on board with Young Lights at the moment, who, of course, has done absolutely ridiculous times in the dry on TT around Zandvoort and many other tracks, but obviously this is the wet and that shakes everything up. He's still been doing well, but it's going to take something momentous. He's gone onto the curbs there and he's invalidated, and that'll be very frustrating for him. YouTube Nova is 2 tenths down on his time. He obviously wants to get as far up as possible because of that 5-place grid penalty. And that is, he's in the car that you will be driving actually, Towers, so the Haas.
Arguably the best car.
And YouTube Nova's just done a purple middle sector, unless that is the glitch, because it sometimes does glitch until you got a purple middle sector. But either way, he was 3 tenths up, so it's possible. His current time is a 1:18.9. He's looking to improve on that. He can definitely go up to at least P6 here, maybe further if he holds it, which he does round that corner. We're going to see what he's going to do now, and it's a 1:18.6. He's up to P6 with a 1:18.6. Lost Souls slightly up in his time, 0.006 up. Young Light starting his another lap after invalidating that other one. Andreas is 4 tenths up on his time. He is one to watch. Phil Razor is just starting his first sector now. Lost Souls done a purple middle sector, or is that the glitch again? 2 tenths up, regardless. Andreas has done a 1:18.5. He's up into P6 now instead of YouTube Nova. VIL NUF1 is on his outlap. Is Pease going to go out again? He's got to go out soon if he is going to improve on his time. Droftas is on the outlap Is he satisfied that he's done enough for pole?
I think he's probably saying...
Oh, well, he hasn't done enough for pole because Lost Souls has done a 1:17.8.
1:17.8.
Oh my... Oh, I mean, we were saying we didn't think anyone would be able to break into the 1:17s, but Lost Souls has shattered that illusion.
Just broken it by 2/10.
I mean,
And Total Peace now comes out for an outlap.
Yeah, he'll be able to make that comfortably. But he's going to have to put in a world of his lap to improve his time, let alone improve it by 2/10. We're on board with Phil Razor now. He's 2/10 up, but it's not... I don't believe he's done any purple sectors. Young Light has broken into the 1:17s as well. It's a 1:17.8. It's a 1:18 flat. YouTube Nova, he has lost it. He's gone off at the first corner.
Perhaps the track has dried a little.
Well, either way, YouTube Nova will not be improving on that 8th place. Neither Milan for that 6th place. He might just be going backwards. Young Lights with a 1:17.854. Look at the gap for pole. It is so close. It's 1:17.810 is the time to beat for pole position. Total P's coming on his outlaps. There's a yellow flag. Phil Razor did that 1:18 flat, only good enough for 4th. That shows how competitive this league is. And Droftas, who was the quickest in Q2, in P5 with a 1:18.1. Is he doing it? I'm not sure if he's doing a slow lap now or if he's doing a quick lap next lap. We'll have to see. And we're going to see Droftas come around now. He comes across the line. This is looking quite good, you know. It is very good. Oh my... 3/10. Lost Souls has retired in the pit lane. He's not going to improve on his time.
When he said that he improved the, he preferred the wet, then he wasn't lying.
Yeah, he wasn't lying. 1:17.5, and maybe I'm going to curse it again because I've been wrong so many times in this qualifying, saying Pisa's got the best time. No one's going to be able to improve on that. But I'm going to go out on a limb again and say that no one's getting better than a 1:17.5. But if anyone can, Total Pisa, Young Lights can. Pisa's lost it. Pisa's lost it. Oh, there goes his chance for pole. There goes his chance for pole. He frustratedly drives into the gravel because he knows that he could have potentially got pole, but that mistake has cost him. And despite doing that amazing time, he's currently only in P4. So we're going to stick on board with Young Lights. He's just gone past, and he is up on his time. He's going to have to improve by a lot more there because he might get P2, but to get P1 as qualifying ends, he's going to have to go incredibly, so much quicker. The gap is 3/10 to pole.
Yeah, Droftas is just out there.
We might have to get him tested to see if he is human.
Yeah.
Mumford is already heading over to Droftas to have that street party. Well, there's still the race to go, but if he shows that pace in the wet, I mean, it'd be unbelievable in the drive. You've got VIL NUF1 did do a lap. He's on a 1:18.9. He's finished. He's not going to start any higher than 9th, although he will in the race because of YouTube Nova with that 5-place grid penalty. Here's Young Lights. Can he improve? This is a pole position. He can improve, but it's only good enough for 2nd. And we've got Total P's. He's coming around to complete his lap where he had the mistake. So that is it. And unbelievable lap from Droftas. Droftas is on pole with a 1:17.5, pole by just under 2/10. Young Lights in 2nd. And
even
wow,
after
what
that
about
amazing
for pole?
lap from Young Lights.
And shout out to Lost more because I've never really seen him race before, rather than me being horrible. And he's in 3rd with a 1:17.8. Total P's 4th with a 1:18.035. Phil Razor, Phil Gang, it's 5th. It's a decent position. He can certainly build on that in the race. Milan crashing out, only managing 6th. Andreas 7th, Nova 8th, and VIL NUF1 in 9th. So really brilliant qualifying session, and well done to everyone involved because that was absolutely fascinating. And I mean, how close everyone is. It's a good sign for the race, isn't it?
That was an amazing qualifying session. Hopefully we can have an equally amazing race then.
Yeah, and we are told it's a dry race as well, so... And Leonardo says, cheers to the commentators, great job. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Leonardo.
He's proud of Felinho, and as he should be, momentous effort, which on most days would be enough for pole, but we just have so many quick drivers in this league. It is brilliant. It really is, and we're very lucky to be commentating on them this season. So we wait for the formation lap to start, and we'll run you down the grid order because, of course, some people like YouTube Nova did have that 5-place grid penalty. So we are going to see a slight shake-up. I think he was the only one as well, but that might see some people move up the grid. And I think one of them actually will be you, Mumford, who you're starting P12, so you might be up a few positions because of that grid penalty. As people select their setups, well, their tyre changes, sorry, can't set up. You have to start with the setup you're in quali. And we are waiting for the formation lap to start. And here we go for the formation lap. So first place, we have Droftas with that unbelievable lap in the wet, 1:17.5. In second, Young Lights. Third, Lost Souls. Fourth, Total Ps. Fifth, Phil Razor. Sixth, Milan. 7, Andreas. Eighth, VIL and UF1 moving up to 8th because of that penalty to Nova. Dan Murphy moving up to 9th. Gurman moving up to 10th because of that penalty. Mumford moving up to 11th. Farhad moving up to 12th. And then Nova moving down. He qualified P8, moving down to 13th because of that 5-place grid penalty. Laggy Racer in 14th. Indigo all the way down in 15th after that crash in Q1. Really frustrating for him. He'll be looking to get through the pack as quickly as possible and get to the front of the grid. Nolsey in P16. Rempbo in P17. Mar5 attacking in P18. And the final one on the grid is COBH Guna.
We've got a bit of an interesting difference of strategies here. We've got Dan Murphy starting out on the hards. Everyone else going out on the softs and mediums.
Yeah, if we just go to tyre. Yeah, of course, everyone has a free choice of tyre because of the rain. The race leader on the softs, as you say. Young Lights on Lost Souls on the mediums. Total Ps on the softs. Yeah, we've got a real... It's about 50-50 split, and then Dan Murphy on the hards. So he's going to be, I'm presuming, aiming to be quick at the end, but I think a lot of the people who've gone for the softs are doing it because they think there will be a safety car, and with what I've seen from league racing so far, there's a very high possibility.
Yeah. We're probably going to have a safety car.
The safety car seems to come out for the tiniest incident. So, yeah, I completely agree. Let's get the...
I mean, you'll need a safety car given how bad the marshals have been so far.
Exactly. I mean, yes, to avoid a horrific crash as the cars line up for the race, and I take a nervous swig of water as we prepare to commentate on what should be a thrilling race.
Absolutely.
Oh, Hilke sending his love. He says he's driving in the bus and hearing the voice. We have the lights go out. And away we go.
5 lights and away we go.
And Droftas has had... I don't know what's happening there with my screen, because it's saying Farhad's in first. And I'm not sure if I'm having a lot of lag or what, because it looked like Droftas is currently in first. I'm going to ignore the what it's saying on the left-hand side of my screen, because
Young
that
Lights
is just
in
lag.
first at the moment.
Young Lights is in first, Droftas in second, and I do believe that's Total Ps in third, Phil Razor in fourth. Although I'm having to go down, it is in their P8, P9, P10 at the moment, which is frustrating because of some internet issues, it seems. So we're going to stay Young Lights on Young Lights at the moment in the lead. It's now starting to fix itself. It's fixed itself. Thank fuck for that. Apologies for the language, but
whoa.
Indigo's up to P11. We got a yellow flag. Indigo up into P11 already. He's had a really good start. Actually, if we put up the position changes, we have the biggest winners so far, Indigo and Farhad, up 4 positions each respectively. We got Dan Murphy up to P12. Laggy Racer's out the race.
Laggy Racer's retired from the session.
I'm not sure. I think he's just given up because he seems to have just clicked retire or something. Either way, this is how it is for the first lap. Young Lights in the lead. I don't know what is happening here. It's very frustrating. But Young Lights is in the lead. Correct me if I'm wrong there. Laggy Racer's left the session. I'm having a bit of an issue here, which is frustrating.
What happened to Laggy Racer there?
I don't know. It's saying that we're seeing that on my screen. Young Lights is ahead of Droftas. Can you confirm that for me, Tavis? Because it's saying that Droftas.
Yeah,
is in
Young
the
Lights.
lead.
Yeah, it goes Young Lights first, going from Droftas. And then...
it's fixed itself again. It seems to be doing
yeah,
that.
the order seems to have messed itself up.
Yeah.
Then Phil Razor, then Lost Souls.
So, Phil Gang, up to P4. So that's a good start for him. He's up one place. Young Lights also up one place into P1. Droftas, and then closely followed by Total Peas. I'm looking at the gaps. I'm looking for the battles. Mar5 attacking has got past Guna. I believe Guna might have made a mistake because he's quite far ahead of him. Looking at the battles at the moment, I hope you're doing the same, Tavis, because I might need some help because there's so many on the track. Lost Souls getting very close. All of them really close together. Droftas getting very close to Young Lights. And once DRS is now enabled this lap.
Indigo trying to go around the outside of Dan Murphy, doesn't quite make it.
Well, Dan Murphy, of course, the defending champion, but Indigo, a potential future champion this season. Indigo did get up to P11, so I think he must have lost the position to Dan. And oh, there's a bit of contact.
Oh, there's contact, yeah.
That was between Indigo and Nova. That's the two Haas teammates. Where have we seen that happen before? Like Magnussen and Grosjean there. But yeah, the gaps at the moment. VIL NUF1 is closing in on Farhad. That seems to be quite a close battle at the moment. We've also got Indigo and Dan Murphy. Indigo's going to try and go down the middle. It doesn't work. I'm keeping an eye out. Is it Indigo goes for the move on Dan Murphy?
Around the outside of Dan Murphy.
And we've also got a Mercedes there of Gurman. Oh, Indigo's lost it.
Wow.
Indigo's lost it. I think there was contact there. Rempo is now looking for a move on Nova, but she backs out of it. She's up to P13. She's up 4 places, so she's doing very well indeed. We've also got Gurman. Dan Murphy gets past Gurman. He's back into the points then. Next up, we've got Total Peas really gaining on Droftas. Total Peas, this is for P2. Is he going to send it down the inside? Oh, it's so close, and they just avoid contact. And it remains Droftas in second and Peas in third. We've had VIL and UF1, who was saying was getting very close to Farhad, and he's made the move. He's up to P8, which is actually where he started because of penalties, but he's back up to P8. Andreas P7, and so many battles on track. Peas, the top 3, really close together. They're all separated
Droftas
by about 2
eager
tenths.
to get past Young Lights here.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised because Total Peas is all over the back of him, and this gap it's all 2 tenths they're separated by. We'll also try and keep up with as many battles as possible because I know all drivers want to see their overtakes, etc. on Steam as YouTube Nova gets past Gerben. But at the moment, these top 3 are so close, so we're going to stick with them at the moment.
Renbo trying to go around the outside of German in the Mercedes, and down the inside just doesn't work. Very
and
close,
Renbo's now side by side. Can she hold the
Renbo.
position? She can. That's a good overtake, and that's her up into P12. Good performance there. As I said, Div 2 driver racing with Div 1 caliber people. And here is Droftas now under pressure from Total Peas. Surely he's got a mistime with DRS. Is he too far back? He's going down the inside. It's such a narrow track. And there's going to remain side by side. They've got to be so careful not to have contact. And Total Peas cannot get past Droftas. But if he wants that win, he's going to have to have... He's going to have to get past Droftas. It's a little bit of contact there, and Droftas is off. I believe there was
into the grass.
I think there was a tiny bit of contact there between.
Yeah, there was slight contact.
Phil Razor up to P3, and Total Peas. What has happened there? He's hit with Lost Souls, and oh my goodness! Or was that with
the barrier?
Well, he's a great YouTuber. I don't see how that's relevant, but yeah, Dan Murphy now up to P8, Rentbell up to P12, and Lost Souls is all the way down into P14 in the gravel. That's devastating. Also devastating for Total Peas. Down in P5.
As Lost Souls leaves the session.
He'll be very frustrated, and I think that is a rage leave, and that's put off the pressure on Young Lights by quite a bit. And Phil Razor is into P2. So Philinho.
Second lead for Young Lights.
Indeed, and Philinho. Rempo gets past Farhad. She's into the points. Excellent job from Rempo. And Phil Razor in P2. Second. Milan, also Andreas is gaining on Milan for that final podium spot. Peas managed to recover himself into P5. Droftas also recovered himself in P6. But the thing is, it's so difficult to race wheel to wheel around here because there's so little room on the track. You have the tiniest bit of understeer. You are going to hit someone if you're side by side. You're going to go to the gravel, whatever. It's a very
Indigo's
difficult
now
track.
been hit by a 3-second time penalty as well.
Indeed. So the biggest winners so far, Rempo is up 7 positions. So incredible job. And there's a yellow flag, and that's Indigo. Indigo's gone off.
Indigo out of the session.
And I mean, he was doing well, getting up, making his way through the field, but just hasn't gone right for him. So we had 2 retirees already on lap 6 out of 36 as German and Farhad go side by side, and they seem to be ghosting into each other a bit on my screen. And I don't know why I'm receiving a message in the Grand Prix, but that's interesting. I won't be able to reply to that. Phil Razor was briefly into DRS range there of Young Lights. Knowlesy gets past Mumford. And as Milan and Andreas both in DRS range, and Pease and Droftas. This is an incredibly... even the top 6 are very close together, especially that pack of Droftas, Pease, Andreas, Milan and Phil, actually. Phil is being closed in rapidly by Milan. So Phil's going to he's going to come under a bit of pressure here. As is Pease from Droftas. And we're going to change to a different detail now. We see Knowlesy, Mumford and Lost Souls have already pitted. That's all been for damage, I'm pretty sure. And that's the tyre situation. As it stands,
Knowlesy and Mumford still very close together.
Indeed, and Young Lights is leading on that medium tyre, so he's going to be able to go longer than Phil Razor and Milan, unless, of course, there is a safety car. Andreas, another one also on the mediums. VIL, NUF1, don't count him out. He's on the mediums, up to P7. YouTube Naylor in P9 on the mediums as well. And Dan Murphy up to P8 on the hard tyres. Absolutely incredible. I think he smells a podium. In the eval race, it was a similar sort of scenario, starting far back. He loves to do that, and that was a Haas on the grass there of YouTube Nova.
Nova just went into the grass, yeah.
Yeah, not the quickest line. But Phil Razor now, he's in DRS range. He's caught up to Young Lights, but Milan is also caught up to him. And we are just so many. The gaps here just seem to be so short between each driver. And it is, of course, a short track, so it is difficult to pull away by a significant margin. Lost Souls actually left the session, but his car is still in it. He hasn't retired, but he's in P17 at the moment, and I don't think he's rejoined the session as it stands. Leonardo saying Felinio, scenario 7. Well, it worked for Lando Norris, so Phil Razor, is he going to wait, though, till the last lap like Lando Norris did? He might have to get that win, because at the moment, obviously, he will be pitting earlier than Young Lights, but he is gaining on him on that quicker soft tyre. Gap around 8/10. And as I guess it calms down for a second, take a breath, and the positions are Young Lights in the lead, Phil Razor 2nd, Milan 3rd, Andreas 4th, Droftas 5th, P 6th, VIL NUF1 7th, Dan Murphy 8th, Nova 9th, and Rentbo in the final points position, although is that... No, ignore that, it was me being an idiot. I thought someone was gaining on me.
Farhad closely chasing German there.
Yeah, indeed. And Milan got really close to Phil Razor with DRS there. Phil Razor has dropped out of the DRS of Young Lights. It seems to rotate every couple of laps, dropping in and out. But it looks like Phil Razor's biggest threat at the moment. Oh, was that a brake board I saw smashed, or was that just lag on my screen? I'm not sure. I'm imagining it was just lag.
Didn't spot that.
Because Milan hasn't lost much time to Phil Razor. Andreas, though, has got right up to the back of Milan. And you've also got... Droftas has got past Pease. I must have missed that. I think Pease must have had a mistake or something, because he's quite far back. Maybe a little moment or something. But look how close this pack is. That's a brilliant camera angle. I don't know if you can see that on stream. But the helicopter giving us a view of literally the top 6. All together. All really close. The biggest gap between that being about the second. But I tell you what, Milan's going to be in a really good position here. And so is Andreas, and so is Droftas. All of them with DRS wide open. And is Milan going to go for the move? That's very risky. Nearly lost the wing there. And there's no one else close enough to make a move. It's so difficult to overtake here. You do have to take risks. And as we've seen, they sometimes don't work out, as we've seen from Lost Souls, the incident with Pease and Droftas. And as well with Indigo. So
very, very close.
Yeah, I mean, this shows no sign, this battle, of going away, and I think this is really suiting Young Lights. He's pulling away from Phil Razor. It's 1.6 second gap, and the more these guys battle away, it will. This was perfect for Young Lights.
And Young Lights is on the medium tyre as well.
Exactly, it's a really good situation for him.
A VIL and UF1 getting a 3-second time penalty right there.
See, I don't think this is one of those tracks where penalties will actually come into it that much. But if they're that close, it might do. But in terms of, it's not that easy a track to get penalties at, in my experience anyway. And this is from like a serial corner cutter as well. Although, speak of the devil,
Phil Razor gets a 3-second time penalty. That
one
is
of the
gonna
top
harm him.
guys. And I mean, the gap down to that would put him down to P6 currently on the track, because that's how close it is between all of these. This is a massive train behind Phil Razor. And I wonder if he's saving ERS or something. We don't know. We won't look at that. Of course, we don't want to give anyone an advantage. But either way, for whatever reason, Phil Razor dropping off a bit of young lights, and Milan and Andreas, Droftas and Pease all behind him. Although Pease a bit further back now. So we expect the pit window for the softs to be coming up quite soon. I'm not sure 100% what it is. As we have Phil Gang here from Brazil, from Mario Dinner. And Phil Razor is a very hot, beautiful guy from Igor Martins. So I presume that's some of his groupies that he has backstage after his races.
Seems like quite the fan base.
And he is Flamenguista. I'm not 100% sure what that means. If you'd like to explain that to me, I'd love to know.
Flamenguista.
Seems to be a lot of Brazilian fans from. I wonder if Phil Razor is Brazilian. We have the first pit stop here for Milan, and we also have Total Peace following him into the pits. So Andreas and Droftas move up to P3 and P4 respectively. So this is going to be crucial now as we watch Total Peace come into the pits. Is he going to get out in front of Milan? No, he's not. Milan's coming out now. Pease is coming out. He's gone onto the hard tyre. So has Milan. So they're going for the one-stop strategy. No safety car yet, as we expected perhaps early on. And Pease comes out in P10. Mar 5 attacking is ahead of German because German is in the pits. He goes onto the hard tyres as well. And we are starting to see the soft runners come into the pits. So I imagine we will see Phil Razor soon coming into the pits. And they're saying that all football teams from Brazil support Felinho, so I'm presuming he is Brazilian. Which is nice that we've got some variety of nations in this league. I think we haven't got many non-Europeans, but it's he's currently in P2. He's dropped 2 seconds back from Young Lights. Will he be coming into the pits now? He will be. He's coming into the
Phil
pits, and that
Razor
looks like...
Pits.
Who else is coming into the pits? Droftas as well, following him in. And he's going onto the hard tyre. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1, Sector 2, and that is... I think it's Lost Souls right at the very back. No, it's not. Who is that? It's German. It's German who had gone off there. Rembo also in the pit. Phil Razor and Droftas coming out now. Phil Razor's going to come out. P7. Droftas in P8. But is Droftas going to keep that P8? Because Pease is right behind him. They're side by side, and Pease has done the undercut on Droftas. Now remember, Droftas was ahead of Pease, but that undercut has worked beautifully for Total Pease. He actually nearly jumped Phil Razor as well. Yeah, and that's effectively P5. But at the moment, the only... I mean, Dan Murphy up to P4 on those hards, and he won't have to pit for a long time as well, as we see a bit of lag on my screen there. But VIL and UF1, another good runner who's got Dan Murphy closing up to him. But, I mean, he's up to P3 at the moment on those mediums as well. So we imagine these runners
pit
will
for a
be
few
long.
laps then.
Apparently he's not Brazilian, but they adopted him as Brazilian.
Oh, I see. He's got a lot of Brazilian fans.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised they adopted him as Brazilian with some of his performances recently. And let's hope some in VIL as well. As Andreas goes into the pits, he's also on the hard tyres. Everyone going in. As Milan sets the fastest lap of the race. Will he get out in front? Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be really close. And he is ahead of Andreas. Oh, is he? They're side by side, but he's just got ahead. This battle's not over yet,
Is
though.
he going to be ahead?
He is. Ahead. He's made it stick.
Just.
And we'll now stay on board now with Dan Murphy, who's looking to get past VIL and UF1, who's now in second position, 3.8 seconds back from Young Lights. Of course, these medium and hard runners are going to go longer into the race, and we will see what the superior strategy is. I feel like a lot of the soft runners were banking on that safety car and that early safety car, and that hasn't happened, surprisingly, I must say. So as a result, those on the harder compounds...
It's been a relatively clean race so far.
And those on the harder compounds is going to benefit them the longer there isn't a safety car. As we see, unfortunately, it looks like my stream quality's gone to crap for a bit there. Hopefully it fixes itself. I do apologise about that.
Dan Murphy's still on the tail of NUF1.
Indeed he is. We have another
Not
one in the
quite
pits. It's
close
YouTube
enough.
Nova. YouTube Nova is in the pits. And we are having I do apologise, we're having a horrible bit on stream where it's just, from my internet being a bit dodgy,
Oh,
it's suddenly gone to crash.
yeah, this is dreadful.
Look, Tavis, there's nothing I can do about it at the moment, alright? As we see, Phil Razor has got into the pits and he's just got out in front of Total Peas and Droftas. I say you see that, I'm not sure how much of it you can see at the moment. As I say, I can only apologise about that, and hopefully it comes back to normal in a second.
Tell Henry's watching movies.
Henry is not here.
Fair enough.
Actually, can I put the quality up? Let's try and put in the quality of the stream up. That hasn't worked? Oh no, it has worked. Okay, I've just put the quality up, and it's still a bit pixely, but it's slightly better. YouTube Nova gets a 3-second time penalty. And Dan Murphy, currently in P3 on the hard tyres. He doesn't have to rush getting past VIL and UF1 because he will be further ahead. We'll also keep an eye on that Phil Razor Total Peas Droftas battle. And coming into the pits is VIL and UF1.
Rapidly.
And Dan Murphy into P2 as Milan does another fastest lap of the race.
Dan Murphy.
And
Dan Murphy has picked a good strategy here.
I think he has.
On the hard tyres.
Let's see what that strategy can do
It's
for him.
going to be off.
Just play around a bit here with the stream to try and improve the quality. I think unfortunately this is internet related.
Yeah, I think it probably is.
You can still make out a bit. It's just a bit pixely. I really do apologise because we got a cracking race in our hands. As German gets a 3-second time penalty, and Pease is all over the back of Phil Razor. And this is the closest battle at the moment on track. You've got Droftas, Pease, and Phil Razor, who were right up there. But of course, with the exception of... Was Phil Razor on the softs, do you remember? Or...
I can't remember. Young Light's coming into the pits
Gosh,
now.
you are useless. Yes, we got Young Lights, the race leader, into the pit lane. He's gone on to the hards as well. And that means Dan Murphy is going to take the race lead. As Milan sets another fastest lap, he is on an absolute charge. And you know what? The reason that he's been on absolute charge is because now he's got in front of the race leader, Young Lights. So those fastest laps have got him ahead of Young Lights. Really great job from Milan. Yeah, he was definitely on scenario 7. As Pease gets past Phil Razor, and Phil Razor's now got to deal with Droftas right behind him. It's going to be very difficult to overtake through here, so he should be safe for the rest of this sector, as long as he doesn't make a mistake. And I'm afraid to say that if you can't see, you can definitely hear that Phil Razor's dropped down to P6. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. If that's already been
sorry
cleared.
to all his fans.
Yeah, they will be hoping you can do it. YouTube has reduced to its video quality to 480p by default due to the high usage in the times of coronavirus. We did up the quality. Yeah, it's now on. It's apparently on 720p, but I don't believe it is. looking at the stream. Apparently that might not be an internet issue. Then that might be a YouTube issue. So
YouTube then. Oh, right.
I'd be very happy with that. As Phil Razor looks to defend from Droftas here, a bit on the grass there. Droftas having a look around the outside. That would be very ambitious to overtake there. Andreas in P4 meanwhile getting on Young Lights, who's now a second back from Milan. And Dan Murphy, you've got to say, he's in an unbelievable position. He's in P1. He won't have to pit for quite a while. He could even stretch this to a hards and then go on the softs at the end of the race. So he has got to potentially...
I think he's probably going to try softs after this.
He's potentially got a race-winning strategy there. He's with starting, in P9. He's got a race-winning strategy right there. If he can hold it together and knowing Dan, he probably can. So, a win would obviously be the perfect start to his title defence.
If we can keep with that safety car, then.
Yeah, or even a safety car at the end, that would be perfect for him. But free pit stop. We got a yellow flag in Sector 1, and that looks like a collision. It's between German and Lost Souls, I think it was. or just Gurman going off. But either way, Gurman's gone off in Sector 1. He's having a bit of a nightmare today. He'll be disappointed with that because he's a good racer. Meanwhile, Farhad is gaining on Mar5 attacking. We've also got Droftas getting incredibly close to Phil Razor again. Andreas also looking quite close to Young Lights at the moment. So, interesting. Interesting to note. And what I will try doing one more time is putting the quality back down to 480.
Oh, Andreas going the grass a little bit there. That's setting back.
That won't help him because he was gaining on Young Lights, but he still is actually. And Droftas is also gaining on Phil Razor. See, that's 480p, and then if I put it up to 720, there isn't much difference. It's just slightly less.
Even though he went through the gravel, Andreas is still right on the back of Young Lights.
He is. We're currently on board with Droftas, but we will switch to Andreas because he's closer at the moment. We've got quite a few close battles. Dan Murphy has that 1.2 second lead over Milan. Milan on those fresh hards, though. Dan Murphy on those old hards, but they can go quite a bit, and Dan's quick on old tyres regardless. Is Andreas going to have a go at Young Lights here? He's getting very close indeed. He's between 2 tenths. Is he going to make a lunge here? It's so difficult to overtake, even at this first corner. He's making a lunge. There's a bit of a turn in. There's a tiny wheel bang. But no damage to either person, I don't think. And Droftas has got past Phil Razor. We've just missed that overtake. Phil down to P7. Perhaps struggling on those hards a bit more than other drivers around him, such as Droftas and Total Ps. So he will be frustrated. But don't count Phil out. There's still a long way to go in this race. And I'm sure
if he can channel the help from his fans, then Phil might be able to get back up there.
And he's definitely, he's not out of the podium at least. Maybe a race win from now. Bit too far back, but you never know. 16 laps to go, anything can happen. Safety car, whatever. And we're going to be on board again with this battle of Andreas and Young Lights. I mean, Young Lights seems to be very good at defending this year. He's obviously very quick as well, and it's going to be very difficult, especially on this track of all tracks, to get past him because you have to be so ridiculously close to get a move done for that first corner. And we're going to see now as they come around the final corner as VIL NUF1 gets his second 3-second time penalty of the race. He doesn't look as close, and he's not even going to bother making the move that time, Andreas. Probably a wise move. It'd be better than doing a lunge that he wouldn't have any chance of doing. And this is the closest battle on track at the moment. Although Milan is now within DRS range of Dan Murphy, but this is still the closest battle. Andreas and Young Lights. Total Ps is quite a bit back actually. He's about 5 seconds back from this battle.
Milan is gaining on Dan Murphy.
He is, and of course he's on the fresh hards, and you know the sort of times he was pumping in. Perhaps he's timed everything up. So we get a lovely camera angle, so you can see 2 battles there between Dan Murphy and Milan, and then Young Lights and Andreas. Leonardo saying if Phil gets the podium finish, Brazilian barbecue for everyone after the pandemic. Well, that's a very good incentive.
As long as you're paying for flights, then yeah.
Yes, flights will be expensive. Now, is Milan going to have a go here? This is the closest he's been so far to Dan. He's not gained that much though under DRS. He really hasn't. And perhaps Dan draining overtake as we see Andreas getting close to Young Lights. Droftas with the fastest lap of the race. He's closing in on Total Ps. The gap less than just over a second at the moment. Andreas getting right up to the gearbox of Young Lights there as well. And yeah, I do really apologise
yellow flag
about
in sector 1
about this issue with the stream, because I'm not sure what it is. Because I don't think it's my internet, because my internet seems to be holding up alright at the moment.
No.
As one of the people in chat said, maybe it's YouTube that after a certain time put the quality down. I'm not really sure. Hopefully it's still watchable, and if not, you're just listening to the radio. So just think of it that way, proper old-fashioned. Milan getting really close to Dan Murphy now through that final sector. He might have a go here on this DRS straight. And I tell you what, Andreas as well getting really close to Young Lights. We're going to have to constantly be switching between these 2 battles. We will prioritise the leaders first, though.
I will watch Milan. Very close.
Andreas even closer than Milan. I think Dan Murphy's draining enough overtake maybe on the straights or something, because he's managing to get such straight line speed.
Yeah.
Droftas with another fastest lap of the race. and he is in DRS range of total Ps. Andreas still, he's been within that 2/10 zone for so long. He had a bit of understeer out of that corner there.
But around there, Milan kissing the back of Dan Murphy right there.
It's quite inappropriate, isn't it? I mean, consent is important in this day and age, so I hope he has consent.
Milan went a little bit through the grass there, and that's set him back a little bit.
We've got a retirement. It's Gunnar, and it is in the pit lane. Gunnar has retired in the pit lane, which is what you're supposed to do, of course, when you when's enough is enough for you. So that's a shame. But Gunnar obviously not having a good day of it. He's retired. Hopefully we'll see him in the chat at some point, because he was active in the chat before. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. That's because Gunnar's car has come back out despite the fact he retired in the pits. That's always a frustrating glitch. Milan, YouTube Nova's got past VIL and UF1, and he's dive-bombed him, desperately trying to get past because he seems a lot quicker on those hard tyres than Young Lights, but he can't get through. Incredibly frustrating for him. German gets a 5-second penalty for in the pit lane. And here's VIL and UF1. They're side by side. I did say you have DRS and a good chance. They're still side by side. VIL and UF1 just ahead though. Good battling between those two. And that is VIL and UF1 retaining 8th position, which is where he started. I think he'd be happy with those points at the moment, considering how competitive this league is, this division. Of course, he's filling in as a reserve. He will be racing in Div 2 with no assists. Hopefully on the Saturday race. As Andreas and Milan again, they're sort of staying at about 4/10, but the difference seems to be on the straights. Dan Murphy pulls away, maybe it's a setup thing, but Milan can't close as much it seems, but he is a lot closer now.
Milan has gained his time back from going
that's Dan Murphy into the pits.
As Dan Murphy goes into the pits.
Milan takes the lead.
So yeah.
Andreas is too far back to make a move here surely, so we're going to watch in the pits. Dan Murphy's gone onto the soft tyres. It is the softs.
He's going for an attack now in the softs.
Well, if this works out, he's going to be absolutely rapid at the end. He's just got to hope that those tyres don't die out too quickly. So that moves Andreas up into that final podium position. Young Lights up into second. He can try and chase down Milan now. But I tell you what, at the moment, his biggest threat is Andreas right behind him. As we've got a lapped Renault in front. Total P's in fourth. Droftas right behind him as well. Phil Razor, we're not ignoring Phil, don't worry. He's in P6. Dan Murphy's got to get past him if he wants to continue this charge up the field. Nova getting very close to the back of VIL and UF1. This battle, we saw round one of it, and that was eventually won by VIL and UF1, although Nova did get ahead initially. Let's see again, because Nova's going to be in a good position to get ahead again as we come into the end of the second sector. And that looks like, every time it looks like the stream's fixed itself, it hasn't. But he's too far back this time to make a move.
It's a 3-second time penalty.
For Droftas, did you say?
Yeah.
Well, that's will certainly be reassuring for Pease, because he's got him right on his back. As we come round the final corner, have we got any close battles? Droftas too far back. VIL, NUF1 is too far ahead of Nova to make a move. And as we go down the field, Rentbo in that final position, she's in P10, and she's got quite a lead actually to Knowles the ATK. He's at about 14.3 seconds back. So she's on the one stop, so if Rentbo manages to come home with points finish, that'd be pretty impressive, considering a Div 2 reserve. A Div 2 full-time driver.
Oh, she's a Div 2 driver?
Yeah, she's a Div 2 driver, reserving,
that's good.
So doing very well against the big boys of Div 1. And VIL and UF1 has still got... You can't shake Nova. They two seem really evenly matched in pace. It's sort of calmed down a bit at the front. We don't have that close they're still close, but it wasn't as close as it was towards the front. Milan leads, Young Lights second, Andreas third, Pease in fourth. He's starting to gain a bit, but Droftas also gaining on him.
Young Lights is gaining a lot of time down the main straight.
Maybe a setup, and Phil Razor and Dan Murphy side by side. Dan Murphy, I think, Phil Razor didn't really fight that, and it's because Phil Razor is on the hards and Dan is on the softs. They're very clever there from Phil, because there's a yellow flag in Sector 3, but nothing that I can see that's worth looking at. as yeah, Dan's on a different strategy. He would just lose time by holding him up. So in the end, just going to let him and sort of hold on to his DRS. But as I said, quite quiet at the front, and we are awaiting that. Dan Murphy surge up the field, and Gurman has retired in the pit lane as Mumford does the fastest lap of the race. Well done to him. It's a 1:10.9 on the softs. Unfortunately, I'm not sure it will last that long with the likes of Dan Murphy about. But yeah, as I said, we're sort of now waiting. We're in that period of the race where we're just waiting for Dan Murphy to make that charge up the field before it sort of explodes into life again. Which is kind of good because it gives my voice a bit of a rest. And I feel like I need it.
It also gives everyone else a bit of a rest from your voice as well.
Very, very true. Very true, Tavis. Droftas is dropped to almost out of DRS range as Gurman leaves the session. And we are down to 15 runners, but I think we had 12, or maybe it was higher than that. Well, the main problem with Season 1 of VIL that I know a lot of us were a bit frustrated about was the lack of finishers. So the fact we still got 15 around a difficult track like this is
no
certainly
safety car
positive.
either.
Yeah, no safety car. Generally, we've seen some Colin racing. Obviously, some wheel bagging and contact, but that's inevitable in a track as narrow as this. As we'll switch to Andreas at the moment, so looks the most threatening. I just noticed there on the screen as well, Nova's back through ahead of VIL NUF1.
Done well to gain those places after he got a 5-second grid penalty. 5 on the back of Young Lights. Not gaining too much, but still pressuring him. And Milan's got quite the good lead there as he comes up to a lapped Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, 2 seconds the gap between him and Young Lights, and Andreas gaining on Young Lights significantly through there, and he's touched the grass a tiny bit as you see a puff of grass sort of come off through there. What I might do, Tav, is if you keep an eye on comments, is I might close the stream on my laptop, see if that helps. If it is an internet thing.
Yeah,
although
I can
people
keep,
say
I
it's
can
a
keep an eye
YouTube thing,
on
just
comments.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
So Tavis will be your man. And in the comments, Andreas is on a stormer of a lap. He went 4 tenths quicker in the first sector. He's gone 2 tenths quicker, well, almost 2 tenths quicker in the second sector. And look how close he is to Young Lights. It's all about a good exit through here because you have to get so close to overtake. Will Young Lights get DRS off that lap car? Oh my god, almost going into the pits there to try and defend their Young Lights. That was quite incredible. And still, Andreas cannot get past. And I honestly wasn't sure if he was going in the pits there or what, but he almost took Andreas with him.
This is amazingly close, though.
It is a very good battle that we are seeing on track. Hopefully you are seeing it a bit better. If not, I'm going to try and describe it to you as best as I can. It seems to be maybe a combination of YouTube and probably my internet doesn't help, but apparently
it is still pretty grainy.
Well, just imagine you're in the 1940s.
Yeah.
Watching VIL, as I'm sure many of you were. There's 6 laps to go. And to be honest, unless we see a safety car or some sort of mad incident, it looks like Milan is in pole position to win this race. He's now comfortable.
Yeah, almost 3 seconds ahead of Young Lights.
And Young Lights seems to not be as confident on those hard tyres as he was on the mediums, because Andreas has been on the back of him for so many laps now. VIL and UF1 as well. This battle with Nova that seems to be going on all race. Dan Murphy is going to... For him to get the race win, he's going to have to start pumping in those lap times and getting through people quickly. I feel like it might be a bit too much of an ask for Dan. Yeah. Maybe the strategy hasn't worked out.
Possibly a podium.
Still
Just remember, he did start 10th place.
Of course he did. But still, it's considering the position he was in. But of course, maybe he wouldn't have been in that position if he didn't go to the hard. So it's a real dilemma. As we see VIL and UF1 get quite close to the back of YouTube. Nova had a little twitch there as well. Dan Murphy, he's about 5 seconds back to Droftas. Total P's in a bit of no man's land. He's starting actually to catch up to Andreas and Young Lights because Young Lights is holding up Andreas in this battle, and they are starting to Pease is starting to catch up with them. There's a comment in chat if you could read that, Tavis.
Oh, is there? No, there's not.
Oh, I just came up with 100.
Well, I haven't got it yet. Oh, let's go, Phil. Yes, let's go, Phil.
Phil currently
Phil's
in
fan base
P7.
still supporting.
Oh, that Brazilian support seems to be, well, it's legendary in football and so many other sports, and in F1 included. Here comes Andreas. There's a little bit of wheel banging, quite a bit more contact than usual. He's going round the outside. Surely this time he's got the move done. There's more wheel banging. And in the end, it was quite a forceful move from Andreas, but he is into P2, and he's finally got past Young Lights after all those laps, and he will now look to try and close that gap between Milan and Mego. But is it too late? Young Lights is going for the move. That's a crazy place to overtake. Absolutely crazy.
And Young Lights has spun.
I mean, it's no surprise, really. He's reset to the trap, but it's no surprise going for a move there. He's done so well, but he just had to be more patient. There was no universe that was going to go well in. As we got a yellow flag, and I think I'm not sure what is the cause of it. But as we go back, Young Lights now down into 5th position with Dan Murphy, behind him. And that, obviously, Andreas into P2, and that elevates Pease to the podium. And Pease is in DRS range of Andreas.
Pease gaining on Andreas quite quickly here.
Well, he's definitely one person who
DRS.
massively benefited from that Young Lights incident with Andreas.
Absolutely.
Looked like a racing incident to me, but yeah, I think Young Lights was just a bit too eager there to get back through. He should have waited. That is not an overtaking spot. Generally, that's my view anyway, watching it on the stream. Let us know your thoughts in the comments for that incident. Total P's getting really close now to Andreas. 2/10 the gap.
It's not looking hopeful.
Well, and Dan Murphy is not going to get past there. But he knows the longer he's behind Young Lights, chances are fading away. There's only 2 laps left. And Milan now has a 4-second lead on Andreas. And the longer that Pease and Andreas battle, the better this is for Milan Malgo to become the first winner of this second season, the first winner of the season in VIL, and the first ever winner of VIL Division 1. Of course, last season we only had 1 division in general. This season we have 2.
Oh, I think the stream's failed.
Oh, has the stream failed?
It's just showing a warning triangle with a thing next to it.
Let me see, I might have to restart the stream. It says I'm still on air.
It's still showing the comments. Yeah, image is gone here.
Oh, this isn't good. Because we are seeing a battle here with Pease. And we're hearing that the image is gone. Yeah, the image has gone. I might have to quickly restart the stream here.
I don't know whether they're still able to comment. Oh,
yeah,
they can hear us.
But we
that's
really
fine,
need
then.
to
Just continue with it.
You sure? Pease is letting Droftas through.
Because there's only a lap left.
But why is he letting him through there? Was there an incident or something that we missed when we were trying to sort out the stream? I'm not sure.
I don't know. But Droftas has got quite the lead on Pease there. There might have been an incident.
There's a yellow flag.
As Pease is going slowly.
Something has happened
and
to
lets
Pease.
Dan Murphy by.
He's got a puncture. He's got a puncture. That is
Pease
what it is. It's a
got
front left puncture from Total Pease. And we do really apologise, but yeah, the stream has gone down. I'm not sure what to do. We've only got a lap left.
Oh, that is
so I don't feel like it's
disappointing finish for Pease race. He
yeah,
had a podium
he
in
was
sight
on
there.
for the podium. It surely must have been contact, because to go that.
As Miller comes in for the final lap.
And Phil goes up into P6. I can hear the Brazilians going crazy. They may not be able to see, but
yeah.
I can tell you that Phil is up into P6.
Phil in P6.
Dan looking for a move on Young Lights. He's too far back. It's the last lap of the race. Milan in first. The gap is 4.4 seconds. Andreas in second. Droftas in third. I do apologise for issues with the stream. It seems to be fine for so long, and then it's just cut out as Nova. Pease is obviously coming into the pits and to finish his race, and he's retired from the session. He could have potentially have got points if he continued, but yeah, Devastating for him. Absolutely devastating. That elevates Droftas into the podium position. Mumford, that elevates him into the points position as Droftas has a little moment there. Milan, 4.5 seconds as he comes across the line. You're not going to be able to see this, but Milan is now coming through the final banked corner. We're so sorry about the difficulties we have with the stream.
Corner,
we will make
round.
sure that they are fixed for the next stream. He celebrates. He's won the first race
Crosses
of VIL season, second season. Andreas
comes
second. Droftas in third. Young Lights and Dan Murphy so close. And it's fourth and fifth. Dan Murphy can be very pleased with his effort. Maybe slightly disappointed. And here comes Phil.
For Phil, the Brazilian fans cheer.
As Knowles gets a 5-second for an unserved penalty. He comes down in 12th. And Phil comes home in 6th position to get some decent point. Nova in 7th. VIL, NUF1 in 8th. He'll be happy with those points. And what a drive from Rembo to get P9.
The Div 2 driver.
The Div 2 driver, exactly. What an incredible effort. And she should be rightly chuffed with herself, as actually Mumford nearly loses it there as he comes across the line for that points finish. And that is the end of the race. Well,
what
for
a spectacular race
for
that
this
was.
final final bit, we will try and
driver of the day, Renbo.
And you know what? That is hard to argue with, because as much as we've had some good drives, Rembo qualified in P16, 17, I believe, and she's done a great job to get up to P9. I think we will have a vote or something about the driver of the day anyway, in case anyone was unhappy with that. But she's certainly a contender, and I can't really complain with that. I think other notable mentions, though, definitely has to be, obviously, the race winner in Milan. Pease was definitely a contender, just devastating for him to miss out because of that puncture at the very last minute. What we're going to do is, I think, if we quickly restart the stream and see if we can get people in the party, the top 3 in the party, so the winners, Milan, and then in P2, Andreas, and in P3, Droftas. So we will see in a minute. We'll try and get Droftas in a second, but we're going to restart the stream, so bear with.
It's only voices, though, isn't it?
Leave the stream up, do you reckon?
Well, yeah, 'cause it's only a voices.
True. I gotta lost connection or something. I think he did. We'll try only microphones being broadcast. That doesn't matter because the stream's retarded. Tavis, can you put it to open so I can invite people, because you don't have them on the friends list? Right, we'll try and get third place in first in Droftas. It was truly spectacular. I'm just disappointed you didn't see more of it on stream. That's the only annoying thing from my perspective. I hope my commentary made it somewhat bearable, considering the how you guys couldn't see half the time. I don't really know what happened. Yeah, I know, but that's sometimes where like some of the best action is. But yeah, no, I get your point. Thank you as well to Tavis. Thank you as well to Tavis for doing that. I'm just going to see. I'll have to message to see, because I don't think I can see who it was. Who would you say, whilst we're waiting, who would you say was your driver of the day? Obviously, Rembo got the award, and there are some contenders. Who would you say for you? Yeah, I know. I think Dan Murphy is definitely, yeah, and he's definitely in Dan Murphy's definitely a contender up there as well. If we can just, if we get to chat soon. I thought I had Droftas added, but I don't. Who do I actually have? It might literally just be sort of toss up to who we get. And Leonardo says, to the blind, fill his vision. To the hungry, fill his food. That is very, very true indeed. Rempo's jumped straight on FIFA, so I don't think she'll be joining us. But we'll try and get the podium sitters. We do have Andreas. Let's quickly see if we can invite him to the party. If not, then I guess we won't have the podium interviews for next week, for this week. But next week will hopefully be a lot more organised, and I'll hopefully have all the Div 1 drivers as well on my friends list, so I can more. We got Andreas joining the party now. Well done, Andreas. Good race for you today. You managed to make yourself up to P2. How was that race for you from your perspective? I'm not surprised. You had some. I mean, that battle with Young Lights, you were stuck behind him for so long, and there was so many times you thought surely you're going to get past, but it's just so difficult. It seems to overtake on this track. It did look like a racing incident, to be fair, from us, where it's just. I mean, I think the thing is with this track is because it's so narrow, and in certain points it's so difficult to, especially when you're racing wheel to wheel, and I think that's a real testament to the fact that actually we didn't have that many incidents today, and surprisingly no safety car. Were you surprised by that at all? Yeah, it's a great start to your VIL season. Is there anything you want to ask, Tavis? Yeah, well done, Andreas. And maybe this is the start of a title bid for you this season. But we'll see. There's a very competitive grid. But either way, brilliant result. Alright, thank you so much, Andreas. We will... I'm not sure if we can get anyone else in. We're going to be seeing... we got an invite from Velocity. I'll just quickly join there, see if he's got any of the other drivers. But thank you again, Andreas. And good race. Yeah, catch you later. This could be... I could be about to end the stream, because if it's like with loads of people, then... Well, we will end the stream then, but...